Higgins,
No.
Schindler,
No.
Jacobson, Ranky,
Yes.
Ames.
Yes.
Failed, 3-2.
Any other? I just have a couple of questions before we go to the assumption. A couple of things. Kim, I appreciate you correcting that, the different expenditures. Did you find out what the difference was between what you had versus what the expenditure
Yes.
was?
Yes, that was Linda's report before we had the transfers.
Okay, so then,
So you were right that it was the 93.
okay, that helps. You know, the other thing too, Kim, on that, I'm having difficulty with Linda's accounting system, and maybe I need to understand that, but
Okay.
on the letter we get from the Heritage lists all the funds, the building fund, the finance fund, the appreciation fund, and they all have a balance. And
Okay.
Linda's, under those funds, never show the same balance. And I don't know why that's not so. Especially the appreciation fund and the building. I understand that she said
Could you
something
point
about
my
that.
attention to that?
Well, yeah.
I've got the fund right here.
Yeah, all those balances there don't match Linda's fund balances in her accounting.
Okay.
In
Are you
her
talking
balance.
about her budget expenditures?
Well, no, just the ending balance, the balance.
This-
Should show a balance, they all should match, the balance should be the same on hers as it is on the letter. Does that letter come from Heritage or from us?
Linda, I believe, generates this one.
You see, her accounts under employee benefit fund, that
Okay, I'm looking
balance,
under-
that balance must show end of month balance.
End of month balance.
And they don't
The
match.
32,604, Del, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Does not match.
Her account, when she gives that report for the ledger of expenditures and income, it doesn't balance.
Her two balances do not match.
And I don't understand that.
Okay.
And
I'll ask her about that.
And I don't, it's between that and the appreciation fund. I don't understand why they wouldn't match. It might be just, I don't know, I just don't understand. And then the last thing was on the nutrition fund, I see where it's, for September, we have expenses around $25,000, but no income. Wouldn't we have income coming in for which meals?
Well, sometimes that is not recorded on a month-to-month basis. And did she give you the expenditure and the receipt? It's not recorded always by Linda. She gets that information from Donna.
Yeah, on the
So that's
income
up to whether or not Donna gets that information transferred to Linda.
Okay,
Because that report is generated by Linda as well, but it's
Okay.
it's a separate fund entirely, and Linda does not manage it, she just reports it.
Okay, but they show no income for September. Wouldn't we have
I'm
both?
sure that there will be income, it just probably wasn't given to
Oh, I
Linda.
gotcha. All right, so
Right.
Linda is not giving it, Linda, the other Linda,
Donna,
Or Donna, excuse me.
Donna.
Donna is not giving her entire
Right.
posting. But shouldn't they be there because we have to post the expenses? So shouldn't Donna know that she has to have them there?
Linda does call and request them, yes.
Because otherwise-
And sometimes the deposits just haven't been made to the bank yet. She doesn't do it on a daily basis, Donna does not.
And the only other thing I seen, the general ledger for the activity fund, I'm guessing that 4,000 is where we buy raw materials to start off the shop.
General
Yes.
activity
That's
ledger
$4,000
fund.
that we bought the materials to start everything. Okay, all right, that's all.
Okay,
That fund typically runs in the red all year
Till the end,
if
yeah.
you remember that.
Yeah. until the kids, pay for their projects.
I just saw the file 4,000 watt, I thought, wow, that's gotta be raw materials.
You are right.
Anything else? Entertain a motion to the consent agenda.
So be it.
A motion by Ames, second.
Second.
Ranky, roll call vote, please.
Higgins,
Yes.
Schindler,
Yes.
Jacobson,
Yes.
Ranky,
Yes.
Ames.
Yes.
Moving on to the financial recap.
We will be depositing on the 15th, $391,336.87 in the general fund. Capital purpose, $14,702.14. And sinking, $13,243.34.
Any questions for Deb? Thank you, Deb. Any correspondence?
That may be in the other room as well, sorry. Oh, thank you, Miss Jenny.
Any other correspondence? Anybody from the audience wish to be recognized?
Yes, I do.
And would you state your name, please?
Jane Coloff.
And what item would you like to speak to?
I just have a couple of questions regarding curriculum.
General audience portion, because it's not on the agenda.
Go ahead.
At the orientation for the juniors and seniors this year, we were advised that there is no advanced math class being offered this year. Has that changed, Kim? Advanced math for the seniors?
There is no calculus, there is advanced math
There is an advanced math
for
class.
juniors.
With, I'm talking about the seniors. I'm talking about fourth year advanced math.
Fifth year. Fifth year math for seniors, no.
Okay, so as I'm being inundated with correspondence from colleges to say that Chase as a junior has 4 years of advanced math, that would meet their curriculum?
Yes. Yes. Graduation requirements is 30 credits of math.
Okay, but I guess I'm still baffled as to why we're not able to offer calculus. It's not a bizarre foreign language. It's been around forever. Why? I'm concerned that my child isn't going to be able to fill up his schedule next year, as it is, even if there was a calculus class.
Is that your concern in the curriculum? as
Yeah,
far as not-
yeah, it really is. I feel like the high achievers are being overlooked, and we've become a school where we're just trying to get our kids through maybe to junior college, or, my kid's going to a 4-year college or beyond. And I don't feel like he's getting the education here that he should be.
That it?
That's it.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to be heard?
I'd like to.
State your name, please.
Corey, first now, I'd like to speak to item B under new business.
All right. We'll get back to you, Corey. Anybody else?
I'd like to do the 5 minutes from the meeting, general comments, and then speak on 10A, C, and F. I wrote it down right.
What was your name?
Doug Hall.
General 10A, 10C. Is that it? And 10F?
A, C, and F.
A, C, and F. Okay. Go ahead with your general, sir.
I guess my comment is under kind of, what is that listed in the agenda, but I don't know what you guys are gonna cover. On C, discussion of information concerning requests for public records from Copyright Consulting Services. So I guess I'll just go out on a limb and just say, it looks like, somebody has asked for information from a public employee, and you guys have requested $260 to start that process. And, I guess I'm here to write that check. I just wanna know I need to write it to, the school board, Kim, or the taxpayers.
Is that anything else, sir?
No. The other question I have is, on some of the response so far from Kim, we have seen a list of all the kids that attend school here with their birth dates, with their addresses. I don't think that was proper. That's all I can talk about.
Thank you. Anybody else wish to be heard? State your name, please,
Steve Wright.
and what would you like to address?
I'd like to talk about this flyer that was sent out to the public here a week or so ago.
So that'd be in the
General.
general, you go ahead and have the floor.
Okay. There was a flyer sent out, and I've been trying to figure out who sent this flyer out. It says it says citizens, 2014 Citizens of Neligh-Oakdale School Bond. I understand that this organization, this committee, has had meetings with community organizations, and that the school set up those meetings. The secretary, Ms. Wilkinson, made the calls for that. So my question becomes, who sent out these cards? Who contacted the school for these 4 open houses that were scheduled on here? And the drawings that are on it, I've never seen these drawings before. How did this committee wind up with access to these documents? It also has the school's website on it. So, do I wait for an answer, or do I sit down and just hear what you have to say?
Are you done with your
Well,
question?
I'd like the opportunity to follow up on some of those questions.
Well, we're not in a question and answer. You're addressing the board with your concerns.
Okay, does the school, who contacted the school to have these open houses? And how did this committee get access to these drawings? And who sent these out?
Anybody else wish to be heard?
Brian Fry. I have a question concerning Dave's brochures. Whoever,
So you want to speak to the general?
yes,
Okay. Go ahead. Come in.
whoever got this information, if they got it from the school, or did they have to pay? Are we charging one group but not another group? Because if that isn't what happened, then you guys certainly do know who gave them that information.
Corey, first up, I'd like to know how it works. I guess this is not a question and answer period, so So these, we were just asking questions and then you're getting back to these people? What is the normal course? What happens now?
That's correct. The board will discuss it, but it's not a question and answer.
Is there a question and answer portion of your agenda?
No. Anybody else wish to be heard? Student accomplishments. And your any other stuff. Principal report. Bruce, you've got this.
I have, parent-teacher conference with, results. Basically for the last 15 years. The 7-12 fall report, or percentage was up 2% from last year. 65% parents in attendance at the 7-12, and the 3-6 was 100% for the second year in a row. And along that same lines, during parent-teacher conference night, we handed out a survey to the parents. On one side of the page is the survey itself, and on the back side is the results. And how that came about was, with any calendar, there's always going to be changes. For example, next Friday, we're scheduled to play Orchard Clearwater in a football game. It was originally scheduled for 2 o'clock. Now it's 8 o'clock. There's been times when people will call and say they missed that announcement, or they missed that change, or whatever. So we surveyed our parents on their preferred method of getting information, updates. And so we had 9 categories there. And on the back side were the K2 results, the 3-6 results, and the 7-12 results. Not necessarily how many, but they're listed in order, so to speak. You must have got mine.
I think you got it.
There's the other side.
That's mine.
Thanks, George.
There's another. Did somebody not get one?
We're good now. And now I can see what the hell you're talking about.
So anyways, you can look that over at your leisure, but we were curious. The Alert Now messaging system seems to be the most accurate at all levels, K-12, for the latest breaking changes. So other than that, I don't have anything else, unless you have questions of me.
Okay, I'll start out with parent-teacher conferences as well. In our preschool, we had 39 of 40, kindergarten 24 of 24, first grade 29 of 29, and second grade 19 of 20. So of the 113 conferences that were scheduled, we had 111 for 98%. Last Wednesday, October 8th, we had fire prevention day over there. We had the firemen volunteer a lot of their time to give rides and had a really nice informative program for the kids. And they also provided the kids with booklets and hats and badges, stickers and pencils. So we are in the process of writing thank yous to those guys that do an outstanding job for us every year. Last Thursday night was our title night with Edgerton Science Museum from Aurora. They came up to the high school gym. We had over 200 people in attendance. I heard a lot of very positive comments from many parents, and the kids had a great time and got to experiment with a lot of science activities, so that went over really well. Next couple weeks we will be celebrating Red Ribbon Week, and on October 23rd, K1 will be attending a children's theater production in Norfolk that we were able to get a Nebraska Arts Council grant again to pay for the entire cost of our kids to attend that production for the second year in a row. So, that's it.
Thank you. Questions?
Okay, superintendent's report. First, I'm going to try to address some of these questions. Mr. Higgins, with regards to curriculum, I know our guidance counselor was in collaboration with our math teachers, and we simply did not have enough staff to address our benchmark concerns with those students and that division and that advanced math. Up until right before school started, she did have an agreement with University of Nebraska-Lincoln. I do believe that 3 of those kids are taking advanced stats now, but I don't want to misspeak for her, so I will make sure that you get that information from April. With regards to the brochure, if we all remember, Sampson Construction, when Dell and Carrie and Brad interviewed all of the potential construction managers, that was pre-bond service work. And that was the recommendation to the board, that Sampson Construction had the highest quality, best track record for pre-bond service work. So that is a service that they provide pre-bond. They have not paid, or we have not as a district paid them any money. It's contribution in kind is how that is explained to me. With regards to Linda and public records, she read through the list of records that were requested, and her time is not as expensive as my time. However, I will more carefully review those records before any further documentation is submitted. With regards to setting up public meetings, that information that was shared at those public meetings was not for or against the bond issue. It listed the issues, it had budget information, and it listed solutions. But it was not a vote for or vote against document. And those are all the questions I have written down. So, with regards to my report, the Superintendent Board Operating Protocol for October from Nebraska Council of School Administrators, that highlight is that team effort that is necessary for the board and administration to be successful. Not separate entities, a team with a clear purpose, understanding the best interest of students. Board and administration are not in competition with each other, but are competing to meet the individual and collective needs of students. Staff accomplishments, student accomplishments in your packet. With regards to school improvement, we do have a staff in-service / workday on Monday, October 20th. The Educational Service Unit number 8 will be in-house, and they will be facilitating differentiated instruction in the morning. Our professional learning communities will meet. A reminder that that is our Advanced Ed Indicator 3.5. That will happen right before lunch. George Luke is in charge of the CIP steering team. Mary Schrader is in charge of special learners. April Canuse is in charge of assessments and accountability. And Nate Metchke is in charge of vision and goals. And those are all, again, part of that Advanced Ed Indicator 3.5. The afternoon, my teachers will be spending the afternoon preparing report cards, finalizing grades, and getting ready for quarter number 2. The State of the Schools report, 13-14, will soon be released, so I will be directing you there in the very near future. In regards to strategic planning and the Essential Finance Planning Committee, we do need to begin negotiations. Negotiations with the Neligh-Oakdale Education Association will begin prior to November 1st, so I will keep you posted on that. Tuesday, November 4th, 2014, the public will vote on the $6.995 million proposed bond issue. Comparatively, on the November 4th, I just have some information there for you to review, but these are some, not by any means all, of the bond issues in the area. Minden Public Schools has a $23.1 million. Albion Boone Central has a $12.9 million. Omaha Public Schools has a $421 million. Sumner Eddyville, a $4.35 million. Tacoma Herman, $35 million. Elkhorn Public Schools, $63 million. Scotts Bluff, $29.2 million. And Waverly Public Schools, $15.5 million. Technology website update. The Google survey has been disseminated. It's a work in progress, and I will let you know when that Bright Bites is completed. Building grounds, transportation update. Facility challenges are on the agenda, as are the building tours and open house events. Those were sent to you via email as well. We have 2 remaining, Wednesday, October 22nd from 5 to 7, and Monday, October 27th from 5 to 7. For anyone that's interested in seeing any of our facility challenges, or that is a much more relaxed forum to ask questions as well. NASB update. We have the State Education Conference that's pending in November, and that is in La Vista. So you have probably 2 weeks yet, if you're interested in attending, to let me know, and I will get you registered. The new board member workshop is December 4th, and that is in Norfolk. And legislative policy review while they're gearing up for another legislative session. So that final copy was attached to your email in April. Nothing new there. Okay. Yes.
Any board member reports? New business. Court personnel, you want to speak on 10A?
You didn't say 10.
10A is district insurance, correct?
I think it's B you want to speak on.
You also want to be, or did you want to?
Hey,
Okay.
Insurance?
yep. I was at a meeting of your school board, that you guys approved a new insurance carrier, for the coming year, I understand. And at any point where I didn't understand, right, just correct me. Was quite alarmed when I understood that you guys understood that you were underinsured and been underinsured for quite a while. But you were trying to get up close to, and had made some improvement on getting up close to where you maybe thought you should be insured. And I couldn't believe that somebody didn't bring that to somebody's attention just a little bit harder. But the comment that really got me was, who pays for this if we have a major loss and we're not insured for what we need? The comment was, well, I think we all know the answer to that question. That's, I called my insurance agent the next day. You wouldn't believe what he told me. I very strongly suggest that you guys get up to speed in insuring this place. Maybe that's what you've done. Or get informed of what happens if you are underinsured and have a major loss. That's it.
Thank you. That, Mr. May, yeah, thank you for
Yeah.
coming in, May.
Yeah,
I'm Joe Knight with Heritage Insurance. I have with me today Rod Ulmer, who's the Senior Marketing Representative with EMC, who's your insurance carrier today. So we'll answer any questions we can for you. Of course, as you realize, when you put the bids out to us, when the insurance came due again, you decided to look at what was available in the marketplace, and we put together a package for us that said, here's how we want the school insured, gave us some value so that all of the bids you were getting were on the same playing field, which we used. And we've talked about these a little bit, Rod and I, before we came up here. The total property coverage you have today, including personal property, is $17,765,000. Just to refresh your memory, if you haven't had a chance to look at it for a while.
What was that number, Joe?
$17,765,000.
That's for the property?
Personal real estate and personal property. Okay? Whether that is sufficient would be based upon, of course, numerous things. This is replacement cost coverage, and I have Ron address, Ron address some of those issues with you guys to explain to you how they will look at it. And they will be coming in. EMC will actually have an inspection every year, and you'll be getting one before long, and they'll come in and look at all of your facilities and reevaluate that to see if it's adequately covered or not. The bid was based on what you asked us to bid on. We put it together based on that. It looks pretty good, but you know, those things can change as costs change too. Would you mind explaining to them a little bit how it works with these different ages of buildings?
First of all, we'll do an inspection this year. I'm not saying we'll do an inspection every year, but we will update the values every year on the larger buildings, and as I was telling Joe, probably in the $150,000 to $250,000 range. Some buildings above that we will look at, and we will provide an annual building update. We use the Marshall, Swift, and Beck system, which is a combination of them, and our building values include replacement cost as well as reconstruction costs. So if you have an older building, we factor into that what would it cost to replace it with newer material. Like I said, we will do an inspection of all the locations and a building valuation and send them to you, or send them to Joe, and he can provide those for you. And we'll do the evaluations on an annual basis to update your statement of values. The amount that you show, 17.8 million, on the policy it shows 15.8, something like that. 15.6. And that is 90% of the cost, 90% of the value. We insure for 90% of the value on the blanket. Obviously, you can do it at 100% if you want, but 90% saves you a little bit in premium value. The blanket covers all the buildings and contents in location 1 and 2, which are your 2 locations for all this sector. So I was telling Jill, for example, say you had a building worth $2 million and your blanket is at $15 million. If it costs $3 million to replace that building, even though we had it shown at 2, it would be covered for that $3 million because it's under the blanket amount of the $15 million. So any questions you have on that?
Well, I'm having a little bit of problem with the math, because you're telling me the real estate property is $17 million, that I could never build a school for that, not at this size.
You know, I looked at that myself, and just kind of using some logic of my own. You know, we're looking at 57,000 square feet, 9,209,000. First number, the big number up there, $162 a square foot. Now, I don't know what it would cost to build this kind of commercial property. That's why we kind of rely on EMC. But in my mind, that builds a lot, Cal. You know, housing construction today, a standard house will cost you $120 a square foot to $140 a square foot. I know that would do that. So, you know, obviously this is a much bigger building, but there'll be some cost savings by the size, but there'll also be some additional cost expense because of the nature of the business. So,
but I'm gonna do 40% more improvements if I go with the bond. It's gonna cost me $7 million to do a bond just to make some improvements to these buildings.
Right.
And I have problems around that. $7 million for a $17 million property, and it's not gonna go up by that much.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
You can insure at some point, over-insure what you've got too. So you and the board are trying to make the best decisions, you know, and obviously EMC will be coming in and kind of studying what was been done. We based it on what's been done in the past, what you asked us to do, so that's where the numbers came in.
Well, I don't remember
If
asking you other than sending the quote for you.
What's that?
I don't remember asking you anything other than just sending, somebody sent the quote to you and say, this is what we did before, so everybody bid against that quote.
And that's what we use.
Yeah, that's what you use, so
Yeah.
nobody asked you anything, you just gave it to them, you get the quote, so.
Yeah.
We did something wrong the first time, we're doing it wrong the second time.
Well, and that's what is the building values will come out. I mean, it may come out at 20 million.
My biggest fear is, I think the comment that's made about is, the eye opener was the tornado disaster in Pilgrim. But if this school got wiped out, how does the people not even have to pay the taxes to get this building back up? How does it get it to where our insurance will take care of it without putting the burden on the people? That's an eye opener. And we need to make sure we don't put more burden on the people than we already have.
Yeah.
That's, so whatever number you guys come back with, we need to really study that pretty good, you guys.
And we hope this will help you. Right now, it says it's just in the works.
Sure.
For the inspection, and when it gets done, we'll send them to Joe. Joe can sit down with you, and if you want me to come back up, I'd be more than happy to come back up.
We need to better understand that we don't put more burden on the taxpayers. But thanks, guys.
Any other
questions?
Thank you.
Moving on to item D, court personnel.
Good evening. I'm coming to the board as a concerned parent and patron of the Neligh-Oakdale School District. I'm speaking to the student occupancy of the eastward basement for the 14-15 school year. The basement of the eastward facility has 5 usable classrooms. The approximate sizes of these classrooms are 20 by 30 feet. With the art room being the exception, it's split into 2 rooms. I'm not for sure on the sizes, but total square footage would be larger than the 20 by 30 feet of the other floor. Each classroom is equipped with multiple power outlets and fluorescent lighting. Classes occupying these rooms in the school year 2012 and 13 were English, Spanish, art, and a tech room. The tech room is still currently being used, but the other 3 classrooms are not being used. The basement has been closed to student occupancy for the fall of 2014 out of concern for student safety, as was stated in the June 25th press release from the school district. The classes that were occupying these rooms are now displaced throughout the school. The art class in particular is currently residing in the old gym. I believe it would be in the best interest of the students to get them back to a normal classroom setting and schedule. The closing of the basement also directly impacts the patrons of the school district by causing a large capital investment for extra classroom space. By utilizing the 5 classrooms in the basement, the district can save millions of dollars of construction costs. Now what needs to be done to offer a safe learning environment for these kids? I believe there are some common sense fixes to utilize the classrooms for the current school year. In discussions I've had with Mr. Lindgren, our Deputy State Fire Marshal, he stated that the board can present to him an updated plan of correction pursuant to his order of April 30th, 2014. I have here copies of a letter from Mr. Lindgren to our superintendent. I'm not sure if you have copies. There's some copies here if anyone would like to look at them. Of a letter dated June 24th. This is the amended adjustments and comments page from our original plan of correction. We're speaking in reference to number 1 and number 2. He states in here, the conditions that are present with no reference to no egress windows and student occupancy in the basement are acceptable when the building is protected by a supervised automatic fire sprinkler system. With the plan to have this completed by 2015, August of 2015, efforts shall be made to make these spaces as safe as possible for the 14-15 school year. This may include, but not limited to, the installation of an ingress window in basement classrooms, the addition of extra fire alarm detection and notification, and additional fire drills. Further discussion is required. I would like to see the board make a motion to present an updated plan of correction to occupy the basement for the 14-15 school year. This updated plan may include additional fire drills, extra fire alarm detection and notification, and egress windows. There may be other items needed. That's why our fire marshals are here tonight to discuss that. Maybe they can give us some light on what needs to be done or what maybe is okay. Maybe there's some other things that can be added to that list. Maybe there's some things that do not have to be on that list. I don't know, but the discussion should be had. Now is the time to be addressing the safety challenges in the basement, as there are no students in the classrooms right now. We haven't been using them since August. Nobody's down there. Now's the time to do a little bit of construction. If we need to put the egress windows in, if we need to put some detection or notification equipment, now's the time to be doing it. There's no students in the basement right now. It'll be a great time to do some constructions. It'll be an opportune time to construct egress windows, fix some lighting issues. If you've been in some of those classrooms, they maybe need some more lights, need some more fluorescent lighting. That's fine. Let's get some strips down there. Let's put some lighting in. And there's time to do other safety equipment as well. In looking at the correction order from the state fire marshal, the plan of correction letter from the school district, and the